this is Dave Bazar, and I'm with Mike Finn, and this is the latest. Mike, this latest is coming by request of some of our listening public, and they wanted us to address some of the big news that's happened in the almond industry lately. Of course, I'm talking about the July 12th objective estimate.
Right.
So that came out at 2.8. Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
You know, when it came out, you had to look at it a few times. You know, you guys were at I wasn't there, but you guys were at a luncheon.
Right.
And it had everybody's estimates up there.
Right.
And there was only one guy that was even,
And there's only one. Yeah, exactly.
remotely close.
Right.
And everybody else was obviously a little off from that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and to put it in context, right, Mike? We had a Terra Novo's estimate,
Yep.
which is the first one, and it has been accurate. It was 2.8,
Right.
but then then after that, we saw 2.95, and then the shocker of the 3.2 on our subjective.
Yep.
And then we've come back to the 2.8. Do you think you can take all those and come up with a most likely scenario for the crop?
I think you want to believe it's below 3 billion, and I think that belief or that assumption has really kind of reset the game. I think it's really made people more confident, more comfortable from a grower-seller's kind of standpoint. I think it's breathed some fresh air back into that community as well. I think that that's been the most positive thing, and you've seen prices really start to move upwards.
So put that 2.8, and we'll jump around, I'm sure, as we talk further, 2.8 to 3, because the crop's going to be something. But put the 2.8 in context to kind of what we've shipped, and
So I think you got to start with the ending of the 2020 crop, right? So we're probably going to ship about 2.9 billion pounds, up 22-23% from the year before. And I believe that'll leave you with a carryout of probably around 620 million pounds. Let's just call it 600. Okay. So then I look at my 2021 estimate, 2.8 billion pounds. So I'm going to carry in my 600, so that's 3.4 billion pounds. That is 150 million pounds less than we had for the 2020 crop total available supply of almonds to sell. We had 3.55 billion pounds. So now I'm working with 3.4 billion, okay? And
less almonds.
Less almonds. So meaning if I keep my shipments the same, let's say I ship 2.9 billion, so my shipments are flat for the year. That's pretty dramatic, but they're flat for the year. All of a sudden I have less almonds going into the 22 crop. So if we then talk about, bloom of the 2022 crop, all of a sudden if my shipments are flat to slightly up, right, I'm burning that supply down. And then it's going to be about what is the weather conditions during that, bloom period, as well as the rainy season.
And the drought conditions and all
and
the
I think
rest of
that's going to mean the most. I think that
expectations
right.
about 22. I will add, we have growers who listen to this who always get angry when we go that far ahead and say, hey, you got to stay more close in. Right? Which I get their point, right? They're saying, who knows? It doesn't look good for 22, but look at this. If you have 2.8 and you just ship 2.9,
you're going to ship less.
Yeah.
Got to ship less.
Yeah. And
so you're going to carry 600 million pounds into the 21 crop, and you're out of certain things, right? You'd think 600 million pounds, you have a little bit of everything to be selling to people, and it's really not the case. There are items that have been blown out here, blown out there, so 600 million pounds really isn't that much. Really what it's going to do is it's going to help transition those buyers through August and September. So those shipments should look really good.
Which is always great.
Which is going to start it out
shipments,
good. So I think it's very positive.
And you do have to keep in mind, this last year we were up 22%.
Right, it's a big deal.
Albeit on very cheap prices, but that's a big deal to be selling that much and then, no additional supplies, right?
Right.
So that transitions us to the all-important, pricing, right? We've seen a good bump up. Put it in context, I guess. I'm going to we'll go back to 2019. Average price, I'm going to call it $240, $245. That was what a grower was paid in 2019. Average price in 2020?
Probably going to be $1.60.
$1.60. Okay, where are you at right now after this news you've heard?
I think you'd be looking at averages well above $2 today for the 21 crop.
Okay.
Probably close to a 220.
All right. So $2.40, $1.60, now back up to $2.10,
Yeah.
some number like that. Okay, and then I guess take that and then just kind of go, what do you think's going to happen?
Well, I think the game right now is basically set between now and bloom. Okay, it's going to be about shipments. It's going to be about supply and what that crop really is going to be, because you're going to find that crop out probably in January.
Yeah.
And then it's bloom, right?
Yeah.
Then it's drought. So the game almost transitions from one to the next, and everything will reset. So between now and then, I think you're going to see it pretty firm. Maybe momentary blips in it, but I think for the most part, it's going to be pretty solid going.
And that'll be driven off of the buyers will be, say, wanting to buy, will not want to sell as much, right?
I think you're going to be seeing the effects of cheap prices, and I think that it kind of takes a while for it to flush through. But once people have gotten used to those cheap prices, right, they've been promoting it, they've been putting effort behind it, it's been moving, obviously, right? And so I think that people will just be getting ramped up, really, and excited about almonds. Now, okay, you have increased that price, but I think that it's in play, it's in the mix. The retailers haven't really changed their retail shelf pricing all that much, right? So they've been making good money, and now they're going to make a little bit less, but it's still very good for retailers as well. So I think that it's going to be about how California manages the supply.
Okay.
If we all shut down, nobody wants to sell anything, then it'll probably get a little sticky, because I don't think that your shipments will be showing up like you probably want them to, or you need them to, right? You need it to at least look flat.
Yeah, and that's always a hard one, because if you shut off, then typically the prices go up, but then
Right.
to what ends, right? You still want to move that whole crop. You want to maximize the value of it, but you also want to keep that flow rolling.
Yeah.
Correct? So it's always nice to be participating, right? Now the industries are beautiful and made up of 120 handlers who are all then have either seasonal pools or call pools, and there's all kinds of growers. So usually you do have some liquidity,
Right.
And you're hoping, I guess, that there's enough of it that you'll then generate it into shipments.
And I think
correct?
that marketing strategy for most people is probably going to be more hand to mouth, rather than trying to go out far into the future. And I think that will keep things very focused on the nearby positions, and it should continue to bolster them.
Okay, so I guess in wrapping up, we could say it's a positive price move. We think it's going to continue, perhaps not just rocket sled up, but it should be firm and continue to participate, huh?
Yep, I agree.
Okay, well, this has been Dave Bazar and Mike Finn, and that's the latest.
Thank you.